Alright guys. Hey, it's Mr. Fogey here. Hey friends, today we're going to show you how to change your fuel pump. It will save you hundreds of dollars, and we're going to do it in 3 steps. Pick your tools. Number 2, we're going to depressurize the fuel system. And number 3, we're going to remove and then replace with a new fuel pump and fuel strainer. Grab some coffee. Here we go. Hey friends, so the common general tools that you'll need or you may need is number 1, a common pliers to help remove any little tiny bolts or hoses, a monkey wrench for the bolts, a fuel strainer, which is your fuel filter basically, a fuel pump, which is Denso here. It's made in Japan, so it's going to be really of good build and quality. A special tools. If you don't have this, then there is a way around it. I'll show you in a bit. Another pliers, but this time is long nose for those hard to reach hoses. A hammer, I'll tell you why. Some common socket and extensions for any nuts and bolts. Common ratchet set, or open wrench, what they call. Pliers, some screwdrivers for any screws, and a common socket set you'll need, and this flat nose screwdriver to pry things open and to put them into place. And that's about it, guys. Alright guys, so look at the fuse box. In most cars it'll be underneath the dashboard of the driver's side. So in this car it's right here. In some cars it'll be down here, but in this one, this Honda CR-V, it's on here, fuse box or fuse. In this case, it's going to be a 15 amp, it'll say fuel pump. That's the fuse that you're going to require to remove first before you start the car to help depressurize the fuel system so that there's no fuel coming out anymore and the engine won't ignite. Hey guys, so once you look at the schematics of your car, locate the fuel pump fuse, which will be on the top second tier on the 4th one, over the 20 amp and the 15 amp. It'll help you identify it on this body of your car schematics. So in this case, we're going to pull out the fuse here, which is this one right here. We're going to pull it out slowly. Remember to put this fuse back, otherwise your car won't start. It says 15 amps. So that's what you take out. Now we're going to start the car. Now we're going to start the car. How come it's not starting? Alright, that's the main point of depressurizing the system. Once you take off the fuse, there won't be any gas going into the fuel pump. After you take off the fuse and you start the car, now we're just gonna finally open up the gas cap to release any other air pressure there. That's it. Put it back. And now we can begin the 3rd phase of removing and putting in a new fuel pump. To locate where the fuel pump is located, it's usually underneath the back seats or underneath the trunk in the rear. In this case, in this car, it's located underneath the back seats. And remember, life is always a struggle, so I struggle to take off the carpet here. And we're just gonna tape it up. Just so it holds up. As you can see, this here is the fuel pump, which is housed in the housing assembly here. Once you take out these 3 screws, we can extract the fuel pump. It will save you hundreds of dollars. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to do is, once we've already picked all our tools and depressurized the fuel system, we're going to remove these screws here. After these screws here, after I retape it once more. I don't trust it. Life is a struggle. Okay, so to remove and gain access to the housing, you need to use this Phillips head. Loosen it here. The next one. And then the next one here. Once that is done, put the screws somewhere. Otherwise your car will smell like gas. gonna lift this up. We're gonna use a flathead screwdriver. Give me 1 second. Once you remove those bolts, you can have this. Now you have access to the fuel pump. Okay, first, what we need to do is we're gonna remove this tab here. So once you remove the tab, we can put the faceplate here. Now we're gonna remove this hose thing here. Once you remove the hose, all right, guys. So just to let you know that even though you depressurize the system, the gas can still come out. So once you've done that, it's still gonna come out. So be careful. It's gonna fill up, and there you go. Here's the gas. We're just gonna use some wipes, wipe it off. Gas is 121 right now. So there goes a lot of gas. So now once we remove the electrical connector and the fuel hose line, what we can do is usually hammer this with a flat screwdriver. You can rotate it. If you don't have this tool here, so you can usually hammer it, but you tap it lightly. You can do that, or you can use this tool here, which goes into the car, the rings. So you attach one here, right there, attach the second one. Sorry guys, it's just got a little bit of a struggle. Life is a struggle. So once it's attached, you can use an extension, and then you're gonna rotate it counterclockwise. If not, you can just take a hammer and a flathead screwdriver and start hammering the edges. So we're gonna rotate it now. So once that's rotated, see how it rotated? Now you're gonna get access. Oh, still need it. Keep rotating it until the ring falls off. Hey guys, so once you take off the locking ring, you can now take off the fuel assembly slowly, like it's plutonium, right? Slowly, slowly. Try not to put any dirt inside. It is a messy job. Alright. Hi guys, so once you pull out the housing assembly, it's going to take you some time to remove the fuel pump. So in this car, you have to take off some of the wires and some of the clips on the sides here. They correspond here, here, and here. This is your fuel pump in here, and this is your fuel filter. Now we're going to have to remove it, and I'm going to show you how. Alright, so now we figure out that you have to remove this tab and this tab to gain access to the fuel filter. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna put it down on the floor. We're gonna lift up this tab here and the other tab here. And once these tabs are taken off, which is one more located here, you can now extract the fuel filter. See, this is the rubber grommet. You can now extract it after a little bit more of a jiggle. There you go. Here she is. This is the old one with the filter. You see how the filter is so gunky? It means there's so much sand and debris in the filter. And this is the brand new one that we're gonna exchange. See the difference? Old, new. Alright guys, so put in the new fuel pump filter. The old one's right here, the new one's here. We're gonna make sure that this thing goes into that hole over there. So we're gonna put it in. We're just gonna put it in closely. Gonna make sure it fits. Goes in. And then now we're gonna put in the new filter here. After you put the fuel pump in place to its original housing, we're gonna put in the new fuel filter, or which is a fuel strain, and we're just gonna put it in here. Once it's tight and snug, we're gonna put this little brace here and then we're gonna lock it into place. Just make sure it's inserted. And there should be it. See, it's right there. And then now we put back the casing housing one by one. Once we put the lock in, which I presume this will be right, we're gonna put it in, slide in like this. Lock into place, each side. Each side. Then we're gonna put back the hose down here. Remember guys, life is a struggle. You're wondering guys, what the hell is this? This thing measures how much fuel you have. So the amount of fuel, the higher it is, this thing will just go up and then it will go down as there's less and less fuel. So once that's taken care of, I'm gonna put this thing back here. Put that thing back there. I'm gonna put another piece of wire back up here. And then we're gonna connect this. Don't forget, this you need to send power to your fuel pump here. This goes in there. Make sure everything else is tucked into place. So this goes in here. Make sure this goes into here. That goes there. Everything else is back into place. And then now we can put it back together. Hey guys, so now that the fuel pump and the housing assembly is reattached, we're gonna put everything back into place. So think of this like plutonium. Put everything back. Remember, life's a struggle. We're gonna make sure it's lined up here, and we're gonna put some pressure on it. Make sure the whole gasket is sealing. Just feel around. And once it's done, I'm gonna put some pressure on it again. Make sure everything else is set into place. Once everything's set into place, you can lock it with the ring. And I'll just place this here and here. Oh, sorry guys, I just want everything to face the same way. So we're gonna loosen it again. We're just gonna make sure we hold our we don't want it to move at the same time. So hold it into place. Make sure it's tight. Remember, life is a struggle. So we're gonna give it one more good tighten. We're gonna make sure it doesn't slip, because life is a struggle, right? All right. Life is a struggle. So once that's in, put in the thing back. Alright guys, give me a second here. Once it puts in, I'm gonna push it back into place. Make sure that this wire goes in there, goes back into place. Recheck, double check everything. Here. Make sure it's tight, it's not loose. Put all the screws back. Just gonna put this screw here. Gonna put the next screw here. And finally, the last screw. life is a struggle. There you go. Another check. There you go. And that's how you put and replace and put a new fuel pump with a strainer. We're going to go back and we're going to put the regular fuse on and we're going to see how it starts. The last thing we're going to do is going to put back this fuse into this fuse box here, and then now we're going to give it a start. So we're going to take this fuse here. We're going to take the fuse. We're just going to put it back in. Once that fuse is in place, we're going to give it one more good snug, and everything around it, all the fuse should be flushed. Now we can start it. Alright guys, now that we installed everything, thank you for watching Mr. Poggy's channel. Have a great night.